Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Alliance, your home on the Geek Ultimate Alliance podcast network for Indian all things Star Wars. I'm your host, as always, Katie, and with me, as per the usual, it is Clay, who is enjoying a nice warm cup of tea. That was my
Yes,
attempt at
my
a British accent.
my throat has not been fun at all. And I have been taking cough medicine every 12 hours for the past what feels like eternity. And it's still not going away. And I think it's just the flux of random weather that we're getting. Um
Yeah.
literally this morning it was 47 degrees. I was like, "Oh, I don't even need to get a heavy jacket. I could just put a light sweater on. This is cool." So I put on a light sweater, went to work, and then like an hour before I left, I was like, "Hey, I'm actually going to go start my car just in case it's too cold." And I happened to just look at my phone and it said 31 degrees. I was like, "Oh, that's not." I was like, "Oh, that's not bad." And then right below it says feels like 9. And I was like, "What in the world?" And then I open the door and sleet just slams into my face. I was like, "Oh, that's why." It was sleet by the time that I started the car. When I actually got off of work and got into the car, it had all turned into snow. It's
Yeah.
just been snowing for the past freaking almost 12 hours.
Yeah, the our daycare posted an inclement weather notice and was like, make sure you check Fox 4 in the morning to make sure that we will be here. Um so yeah, I'm gonna have to check that in the morning. Now I don't think we're gonna get any inclement weather. I think it's just gonna be mega cold. So we'll see what happens. But yeah. Um, guys, we're here to talk about Star Wars and begin our Mandalorian and Grogu recap a thon, where every month we will be covering some Mandalorian goodness at this point. um, where we are covering seasons 1 and 2 between January and February. We're covering season 3 in March, and we're covering Book of Boba Fett because why not when there's 2 episodes solely dedicated to Mandalorian in the Book of Boba Fett? So we might as well do it. Uh, and then in May, of course, we'll get the movie. Clay and I will be planning on booking tickets for Thursday night with the plan to do a review opening weekend on Friday because this will be the first one in 5 freaking years.
5 years. This will actually. Do you know what's crazy about this, guys? This will be. I am pretty sure. This will be the first review that me and Katie do for a movie review.
That's
Now,
like legit, like
that's
new movie.
new movie in Star Wars Alliance because we have, of course, Katie did have
Yes.
Slice of Film. We've done plenty of reviews on movies before, but this time around, we'll get to sit in a theater and everything. It's gonna be so
Oh my
much fun.
gosh. It's
I'm
gonna be so
excited.
fun. I had been like doing my planner for the year because I have like basically collected stickers over the years from my mini planners. And this year I was like, I'm gonna use every single sticker that I have up. Like I'm gonna leave this year with no stickers left. And I had an entire booklet of Star Wars stickers. So I put Star Wars stickers all over my planner. I asked you last week, I was like, do we need to change days because of your new job? And then like the next day, I put Star Wars stickers on every single Wednesday of the year. It was like, no, Clay, unfortunately, we can't change days. We're just stuck on Wednesdays now. No, I'm
And
just kidding.
honestly,
But
well, just with my new job also, we just recently changed my hours. So I am actually staying a little bit later on Wednesdays, but I still have an adequate amount of time before we actually go live for me to actually get some stuff done. So it's not going to be too much of a hindrance. Like the best thing about it now compared to what we had before with my job, or even when I was unemployed, is I had too much time on my hands, and I would get
Yeah.
overwhelmed with like I could be doing so much, but I don't know how to get started. Where now it's I only have a limited time. I need to prioritize, and then I prioritize. Like
Yeah.
my brain is just a little weird like that. And then of course
No, I totally get
my
it.
my wife was nice enough. I don't even know where I put it. Oh no. My wife was nice enough to get me a planner for my birthday, and so
Yeah.
starting to fill that out. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, guys. We are going to hopefully have a very successful 2026 here on Star Wars Alliance. Um, we well, speaking of, let's go ahead and jump into our first bit of news. Um, I'll actually share what Katie shared with me earlier today from Mike Chin himself. Some book news. Um,
Yes.
which, by the way, guys, I know that we kind of like boycotted Outlaws when it first came out due to all of the pricing, outrageousness when it first came out. By the way, right now it's like really, really cheap on both Xbox and PlayStation. I recommend getting it.
Yep.
I'm probably gonna get it soon, but Mike Chin has confirmed that Jay Rincon and Eric Johnson will be reprising their roles as ND5 and Jalen from Outlaws for
This
the novel.
this is super exciting to me. This is basically the first of its kind for Star Wars. We've had books that have had multiple narrators, but it's been with short stories where they swap narrators. It's not been one singular book.
Um,
Wait, did Princess and the Scoundrel have both narrators?
Princess and the Scoundrel had both narrators. Yes, it did.
Okay.
Now, I am pretty sure
I apologize about that, guys.
this, unless somebody else, like Katie, can correct me, I believe it is first of its kind for voice actors to be able to play their character in an audiobook for Star Wars specifically. Not necessarily any other IP because that's very easy for enough to do.
um well, okay. I guess video game wise, yes. Because and it's not like video game adaptations because we talked about Force Unleashed with what's his name? Who has voiced the
Whitwer?
Maul. Yeah, Whitwer. Whitwer has done Maul books, but he
Yep.
has not done the Force Unleashed, which would be the video game
Yeah, the Star Killer.
character.
Yep.
And then what's it called? It's the Jedi Fallen Order book. Which I'm not seeing on my shelf at all. Am I blind? Battle Scars. That's what it's called.
Yes.
I don't think Battle Scars.
I don't
Battle.
believe had any of their voice actors in there either.
Yeah, it was Sean Kinnan, Elias Rees, which I don't think he's done other Star Wars books, but I
Yeah.
don't think he's the video game. He's a video game character.
No, not at all. Um but yeah, for these two voice actors to reprise their role from the video game uh into Star Wars, I think that is very, very cool. And I'm really excited for it. We are in the midst of reading this already. We did get the
Yes.
opportunity to get this early. Um, Katie and I are around the same part of the book. I know Katie will accidentally sneeze and finish it before I do. Um,
I don't know what you want from me. Okay.
I
I
tried.
either procrastinate and you finish before me, and then I finish it the night before the podcast, or I
I
finish it the day it comes out. At least I'm spacing it out this time.
yeah, that is very true. Um, I I tend to be a little bit strategic in how I'm reading recently. Again, like I said, with how my job's hours are, I'm usually reading around the time that Amberlyn is taking a nap, and then literally as I'm falling asleep in bed, is where I'm reading. And I have kind of mapped it out to anywhere between 6 to 10 chapters a a reading session or a reading day, really.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be fairly simple to finish. Now, the real doozy, guys, is this month. Technically, we're reading like 3 books. Um, so like I'm gonna have to read 3 books in like 3 weeks, or technically 2.5. So
Yeah,
that's
because
gonna
we're
be
reading.
fun.
So next week, guys, is the Low Red Moon review. The week after, or I'm sorry, the Sunday after, we're reviewing Edge of Victory 1 Conquest for our Yuuzhan Vong New Jedi Order Patreon series. Um, and then 4 days later, we're reading Darth Bane Dynasty of Evil because Clay came onto the podcast, guys, with the Darth Bane reviews.
Yep.
And we got so excited that we just kept going and never did Darth Bane number 3.
Yeah, we just got really caught up in all of the High Republic stuff, and we never finished the trilogy. So we are finally finishing the trilogy after 5 years.
5 years. And so I've already read Darth Bane 1 and 2 this month. So after I get done with Low Red Moon, I'll start the audiobook for Darth Bane 3.
I had a little bit of a mix up. I showed Katie this. I like a while ago. Oh, Paula looks to have a question for us in the chat. So Paula, go ahead and ask your question. But a while back, I actually moved all of my Audible
Mm-hmm.
books into Apple, Apple Books, because I was like, I'm not gonna spend money on a billionaire. And then Katie was like, you just moved one billionaire's inventory into another billionaire's inventory, by the way. Um, and I was like, oh, I guess you're right. And then when I did, all of the titles and the book cover arts all got mixed up for some reason.
Yep.
So it looks like I'm reading a High Republic book, but I am actually reading Darth Bane. And I don't know where the other 2 ones are. I have to literally click on every single one and listen to the very first part of each book to finally realize, okay, this is the book I need to listen to. So it's going to take me a little bit to find book number 2 and book number 3, but I do know that I own them all. So.
Yes, and I do as well. So I'm excited for that though, guys. But the next, Paula, we're gonna come to your question about Keanu Reeves after we talk about this last bit of news, which isn't a ton, but basically Disney has decided, screw it, Galaxy's Edge doesn't need to be canon. We're gonna bring the original trilogy characters to the park. So starting April 29th of this year, you will get to interact with Darth Vader, Han Solo, Leia, and Luke, and Rey, all in the same park. While also being able to hear music from John Williams. And there's also going to be a new tie-in comic. So I think this has been a long time coming. I don't know why they ever decided to make a park canon, because I think if you want to make money, now granted they made plenty of money off this park, but if you just want to make money off of it, then just use the location and cycle characters through like this. I think this is a good plan where you have original trilogies in the first quarter of the year or second quarter of the year, and then you have sequel trilogy characters, and you can make a whole experience where you're still tying in the location. But you don't have to go, oh, we're immersing you in the same day in canon every single day of the year.
Yeah, I think that honestly, I think that if they were to trickle these types of days into the calendar year for Disneyland, and they should even do it with Disney World, by the way. Um, I think doing this will actually bring in a lot more tourism
Mm-hmm.
because people, yes, they go for the Star Wars experience, but even if you had like your older fans or your Legends fans, what have you, that are like, hey, I know because they made their announcement that Luke, Leia, and Han are gonna be at Galaxy's Edge on this random weekend on this random month. A lot of people are going to specifically schedule their Disney trips around that week, and that's a
Yep.
good thing. That's a great thing, actually. You know that Disney World and Disneyland is going to be busy all year. It's just the way it is. But to highlight those weekends or whatever, I think it's good because that's when you know you're going to get a lot of foot traffic. I think it's a great idea. Um now Paula, you did ask, do you both think Keanu Reeves would play great Darth Revan? We've actually talked about this before. We've actually, uh, when the rumors came about, when Keanu Reeves was rumored to be a part of the Acolyte, we said, okay, this would be cool if he did, but then there was reports of his schedule not matching up, and it would, he would need to pass on the role. So we actually made a subject of it of like, okay, well, if he can't be in the Acolyte, what would be the best role for him in Star Wars? And Revan was one of those choices for us both. We talked about him being Revan. We talked about him possibly, would he have the chops to be Bane? Um, does he have a role to play in like the sequel? Uh
Yeah.
Things like that. Like we've talked about it before. I think it would be fun for him to be Revan, especially if you go about it in the sense of how like the video games did, in the sense of like, you know, playing this character that has amnesia and like not knowing who he is and then like figuring it out like at the climax of the movie. Like something
Yeah.
like that would be really, really fun.
And you can
Paulo,
even go full trilogy aspect where you go
mhm,
where you have a giant cliffhanger where he figures out who he's supposed to be, and you spend movie two, like it can be super cool.
yeah,
I don't know if they might choose to bring Revan in. I don't think they are going to go full Old Republic mode where they adapt KOTOR to the exact specifications, but they
yeah,
may
no,
use the character.
well, and that's the thing also that we've like really kind of seen. We know that both Revan and Bane kind of already have been like almost in Star Wars canon because
Yep.
of interviews that Filoni has had and his mentions of him going directly to Lucas and them going as far as doing 3D renders for the characters in
Yep.
Clone Wars, but it never made it into full production. Um,
Yeah. And knowing that we got Revan in Pieces of the Past and a Mara Jade reference. Just sorry, had to throw that in there. Still
yeah,
shocked by
that's
that.
true.
Um, like I think it shows their willingness to bring things in, and that kind of leads into your next thought. She said, I've heard that Abeloth might be coming to Ahsoka season 2, and Natalie Portman might be returning as Padme, and Abeloth will take her form to deceive Anakin. Clint, do you remember who Abeloth is?
Yes. So I also just wikied her really quick. So, but I do remember. I
I
because
told
the
you couldn't wiki anything.
so here's the thing. Here's the thing. The thought process came around. I was like, Abeloth. Is that? And I thought about it, and then I just wikied, and I was like, okay, that is exactly who it is. I didn't read anything else. I left it there, I didn't read anything else. All I saw was Queen and Mother, and I click and I exit out of it. Like that's
Yep.
all I did.
Basically, the thought process is that they're going to bring her in from Legends as a riff on the gods of Mortis and kind of expanding that lore.
Mm-hmm.
For those who are listening, if you're curious who Abeloth is, you can look at the I have the trilogy or the series Fate of the Jedi series on Wikipedia. Unlike Clay, you guys are free to look at Wikipedia. For Legends
Yes.
specifically.
So if people don't know, or if it's been a while for us referencing this, we are currently in our new Jedi Order series on Patreon, and I've already spoiled myself um, with going on Wikipedia, and so I have been in Wikipedia jail ever since. And
And y'all, I know that series is 20 plus years old. But Clay is exploring it for the first time. And he
yes,
doesn't there's nobody spoiling it on social media. So we're just making it a little more fun.
yeah,
Uh,
there isn't like a wave of people that are just like, oh, you remember that new Jedi Order series? Let me tell you all about it right now. So
yeah.
it's actually kind of fun.
So I highly encourage y'all, if you're not a member of our Patreon, I'm really enjoying recording this. I've loved going back through the series, having a blast. So I could totally buy Abeloth portraying or choosing to portray herself as Padme. I don't know how much Abeloth would interact with Anakin, just because he's a Force ghost. It
Well,
was it was not something that the Mortis gods did with like Qui-Gon, for instance, that we know of. And I'm not saying that they couldn't. I'm just saying there's no precedent for Abeloth interacting with a Force ghost.
now the only thing that I'm gonna say on that is we have a precedent that Anakin was set as the chosen one and tested by the father.
He's
And
dead.
he's dead, but we're dealing, rumors has it, rumor has it that we're going to be dealing with the brother,
Mhm.
the mother. So I think them coming into play, like, how crazy would it be? For one, we know as of right now, in all of Star Wars canon, the only times a Force Ghost has interacted with anybody is with other Force users. We have never seen, to my knowledge, again, trying to think back, we have never seen a Force Ghost talk to somebody who is not Force sensitive, right?
Yes, I believe that's accurate.
And we have
Now, the
never, and
only the
oh,
only
go ahead.
question I would have for you in that regard, in Empire Strikes Back, we have Obi-Wan there with Yoda and Luke. Is there ever a time where R2D2 is in the same vicinity?
Well, yes, technically, like so. I I want to. I'll actually have to watch A New Hope again, but
ESB?
when or is it Empire Strikes Back? So hold on. When Luke fires the protons into the Death Star, does R2 ever say anything to contradict Obi-Wan speaking to him?
That would be a good point as well.
You know? So like that's something else. But what my point is like of course the brother and the mother, Abeloth, are both force sensitive. But like, how crazy would it be that they're like just standing there talking to Ahsoka and then like turn to like look at nothing and be like, hey, like, why don't you come out and talk to us too? And then like Anakin is like there. Like they sense Anakin there. Like they like I think that would be like an oh shit moment. Be like, oh crap, okay. Like
Yeah. I don't know, because to me, if because Anakin, we know Anakin hid as Darth Vader. He did not want his force presence detected so people could understand that he was Anakin Skywalker. But Ahsoka was still able to sense him as Anakin because of
yes.
the relationship.
Yep.
So I think you either have one or both. You can't, like, he's either hiding and not sensible, or he's sensible by all three.
But
Does
see,
that make sense?
here's the thing though. Like not in the sense of like not sensible by Ahsoka, but
Mm-hmm.
like you know at the end of Ahsoka season 1, at the very end, Ahsoka kind of like does a double take and walks away, and then we see Anakin is there. So she could sense him. There's not saying that she is incapable of not of sensing him. But I can just picture a scene where Ahsoka is talking to the brother and or Aboleth, and they're in an intense conversation or like doing a whole lot of exposition, and then all of a sudden the brother or Aboleth just like looks at an empty space in the room and is just like, hey, we know you're here too. And like Anakin's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm here. What's up? I was caught. What's up? Like that shows strength in these two, which can be a little terrifying, in my way of thinking. And I made like people may like listen to this and be like, that's kind of stupid. But I mean that's just something that I kind of see.
Yeah. Yeah, we can see.
Yeah.
Also, I just kind of heard myself on your end.
Oh no.
You can
Did
edit
you,
that out. At least me pointing that out.
yeah, I'm writing it down now.
It's like coming and going. So I'm not
I
100%.
I will see if it's all the way there. Like, and I say all the way there, I mean like throughout the entire thing, but I can double check.
Anyways, Paula, I hope that answered your question. Um, and thank you for bringing that up as a topic, because we hadn't talked about Abeloth in a while. I think I have been off Twitter and Clay has been off Twitter, so we have not seen a lot of the scoops that have been going around about the plot line for Ahsoka season 2. I know they're out there, but Clay and I have always been like, we don't go searching for that. If somebody brings it up to us as a topic of conversation for the podcast, we're like, sure, we'll talk about it. But we don't actively go searching for spoilers because we enjoy the elements of surprise. So
Well, that's not completely true. Um, I,
I like the elements of surprise.
so I will be completely honest. Me and the godfather of the network, Travis Snell, we have kind of found ourselves in a little bit of a back and forth of like, hey, did you see this? Or hey, did you see that? Or hey, did you hear this? Or hey, and we're keeping it separate from everybody else. But we haven't really done a whole lot with Star Wars. It's mostly MCU stuff currently.
I don't
Um,
mind the spoilers for MCU because at this point I'm like, they've whatever. I have the first saga. But like, guys,
oh
as a
goodness.
tangent, I just finished WandaVision in my rewatch, and it made me hate Multiverse of Madness all the
The
more.
the next movie I have to watch is Ragnarok. I'm not gonna enjoy it. I'm not
Go
going
back
to.
to last week, guys, if you want the Ragnarok conversation.
But the other part of the news this week.
Oh, did I miss something? I
So
thought
there
that was
is
it.
no. There is one. It's more of like a ha ha what if type of
Oh yeah,
situation.
your Oscar Isaac thing.
Yes. So Oscar Isaac was asked uh by who is this? This is uh Josh Horowitz. Um Happy Sad Confused. He asked Oscar, "Hey, so about this whole Hunt for Ben Solo thing, what do you think about it?" And Oscar was like acted like a deer in the headlights. He's like, what is I think somebody's calling me. Like, what? So people immediately, even Josh, like live here, like right next to him, was like, "Oh, so you're in it. So you were in it. You've already seen the script. So this is what's going on." And so, and that is why, of course, Poe Dameron is here on our thumbnail.
I was wondering why he was here. I was like, why is Oscar Isaac in the thumbnail?
So my question to you is, with an easy enough like connecting of the dots, like what do you think Poe Dameron's role would have been in a Hunt for Ben Solo? For somebody who talked a lot of trash about Kylo Ren in the movies, like we have seen more than enough times in the history of film, not just Star Wars, not just the MCU, not just comic book movies, but like in the history of film, we have seen the bad guy turn good, and then everybody on the good guy's side just be like, "Hey, he's one of us now," not even batting an eyelash. But somebody like Poe Dameron,
So
how do you feel about like
you're
how
gonna
do you
laugh
feel
at
about
me.
that?
I don't mind it because I think here's my headcanon for why it would have happened. Rey brings along her Padawan, Finn, to go hunt for Ben. And Finn's boyfriend decides he has to tag along for the ride.
Hey, I'm down for it. I'm down. I'm totally down. Now the thing is though, so we know.
And the leader of the new Republic. Because
Well,
I
and
feel like
that
Poe
was
is
the
the
other thing
leader.
too. Is like he does have like I feel like new responsibilities, and the real question to like those who were writing the script, I really need to know: were they going to factory reset on Poe Dameron, or were they to keep his characterization and keep his growth? Because is he going to be the type of person in this movie to, hey, I need the limelight, I'm going to be the hero, I do what I want? Or is he actually going to, cuz like that's something that I really don't like, especially when you look at the change from The Last Jedi to, The Rise of Skywalker. Some of these characters had to have a temporary, factory reset on their character. And for Poe, with the death of, Leia Organa being this new leader of the Republic, you know, does he forget everything that he learned from The Last Jedi? Like, that's what I really need to know in the script. Is he going to be the guy to try to force Rey and Finn, hey, this isn't a good idea. We shouldn't be doing this? Is he going to be
Well,
the opposition, type of thing?
and I think we at least got a little bit of that answer in. I think we got at least a little bit of that answer in The Last Order because we get Poe a teensy bit.
That's true.
Not a lot, but I
Yeah.
think we get that answer in the last quarter.
We
Maybe.
didn't get enough of it though. That's the thing.
We did not get enough about it, and we'll leave that for that review.
Yes.
Because it was long story short, guys, it was labeled as a sequel, as a post-sequel
We
trilogy
had
novel,
our
and it was
thoughts
not.
about it. We had our thoughts about it. Let's just say that. But yeah, like I think that it would be, of course, like we've I feel like beating this with a dead horse. We want to see the movie.
Mhm.
I feel like there's a lot of people, for some reason, the people that I have talked to about it, like outside of our circles, are like, "Oh yeah, that's a movie that's gonna get made soon," and I'm just like, "Really?
Do
You think
you
so?"
know Disney?
Like,
You
like,
sure?
I think we're gonna have to fight a little bit more, but like, I like your enthusiasm. I really do. Like, I really
Yeah.
do. But I just don't see it right now. Like, there is nothing that tells me currently, oh yeah, that movie's being made.
Yeah.
So,
Paula
which
has
by the
one
way,
thing.
I'm going to throw a brick at Dave Filoni's house if the week he gets put in that co-president seat and then Bob Iger immediately says, "Hey, we're going to make The Hunt for Ben Solo." And they didn't approve it while Kathleen Kennedy is there.
Okay.
I think
Here's a
I would be
question.
kind of pissed.
Here's a question. Bob Iger says, I loved the concept of the hunt for Ben Solo, but I hated Steven Soderbergh's script.
No.
I
No.
want you, Mr. Dave Filoni.
Nope. Nope.
write
Throw the
the
trash.
script.
Throw the trash. Hurry. Before it can get to his desk. Burn it. Burn it. No. 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 If you're about to ask me, hey, it's either Filoni or nothing, then I say nothing. I want nothing to do with the hunt for Ben Solo
Same.
if Filoni has full credits on that writing of the script. No. Bad, Katie.
Sam. I just had to ask. You know, for
Ugh.
the memes.
That's such a scary thought. That is such a scary thought. Like, you know it's going to be the biggest headline. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Filoni to rewrite Hunt for Ben Solo script. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to have, like, the new release date and stuff. Oh. Yeah.
All right.
Ugh.
Paula had one more thing, and I think she's asking, so if Anakin's the father and Ahsoka is the daughter, is Kylo Ren or Balin the son? Is I think the question that you're asking. I think it's Balin.
I think it's Balin.
Kylo is too young. And I know wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff, but no. Not Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
I think especially with the sequel trilogy,
Now,
with The Rise of Skywalker, I don't think you can do it.
here's something else that really went under the rug on a lot of people's radar. But did you hear about Hayden Christensen being asked about the hunt for Ben Solo? Kind of.
I had heard that he had been asked some questions.
He was
think
asked-
I had heard about the Ben Solo.
I think it was like leading up to a hunt for Ben Solo question, but somebody asked him, "Hey, what would have Anakin said to Kylo if he had the chance to talk to him?" And Hayden Christensen says, "Oh, I don't know anything about that." And so people immediately were like, "Hunt for Ben Solo?" So
Yeah, Adam Driver sent him a message on Instagram and was like, "Hey, you in? Hunt for Ben Solo?" Question mark?
I doubt that. Honestly, in all honesty, I doubt there was many copies of that script made. If they were smart, there was not that many scripts made. Now,
Yeah, I would agree.
I could believe that there is a original, there is an edited, and then there is maybe two more that was shopped around Disney.
Yeah, because as much as the MCU likes to go, oh, I had to go in a locked room with a guard to read the script for Avengers Endgame, and I could only read my parts. I don't think that's how you get movies made. Well, okay, I say that. I don't think that was how you got movies made. Maybe nowadays. But
Yeah,
I think especially with Steven Soderbergh, I think he had a full script and was shopping it around to people that
yeah,
they wanted in.
yeah.
So
I think so too.
I just don't think Soderbergh is that type of dude.
Yeah.
Um, so to the main topic.
Yes. To our main topic, episodes 1 through 4 of The Mandalorian Season 1.
Yes, and guys, like I said at the beginning, we're going back through the Mandalorian so that we can adequately prepare us and y'all for the movie coming in May. We also, so this came out in November of 2019 was the first release of the episodes. And our podcast did not start until June 20th or June 2020. So when season 2 of Mandalorian came out, we covered that live. We never covered individual episodes of the Mandalorian season 1. So this is we're taking a closer look at season 1 because we haven't talked about it before. Everything else we're going to cover season by season, but season 1 we're splitting into 2 episodes. So we can give it a little bit more detail, but not too much. Because obviously this came out 7 years ago now at this point.
Yeah.
Or 6.5. We'll give it 6.5. So the first 4 episodes of The Mandalorian season 1 are all written by Jon Favreau, is the sole writing credit, guys. Episode 1 was directed by Dave Filoni. Episode 2 was directed by Rick Famuyiwa. I said that right. I think so. Famuyiwa.
Yep.
We're going to go with Famuyiwa. I apologize. Deborah Chow directed episode 3, and Bryce Dallas Howard directed episode 4. We are going to be talking about Gina Carano's performance in this because she does make an appearance in episode 4. We have already addressed that she is a bitch. And
Yeah, and like
everything she says.
I will go ahead and spoil some thoughts for episode 4. Bryce Dallas Howard could not save that acting, by the way. I after watching the episode today, I was just like, man, this episode is so good. Sans this individual. But yeah.
She plays the same character over and over again in
Yep.
anything she performs in.
Yep. 100%.
But we don't want to dwell on her too much. I think that's about all we'll say in this part of the review. At least for this review. She's obviously in more of the second half of the season. So
yeah.
So where do you want to start?
Well, I thought we would just go in kind of in order. As far as like, how you want to do this? Like, just like some off the top of the head kind of thoughts about the episode. Like,
So okay. So we can talk about, I think, the overall characters, but then let's focus on the direction and how each episode looks. Because I think one of the things that I saw, for instance, episode 4 is the best directed dark, like, night episode of Disney Plus.
Yes.
I just need to go ahead and get that out of the water. We've talked so much about every single Disney Plus show. about how the night episodes are the worst things in the planet. You can't see a darn thing. Episode 4 is so well lit while being a night episode. And it just looks so good. And I don't know why they went away from that.
The part where the ATST eyes
Uh-huh.
just start to glow red in the middle of the trees, absolute gold. It got
Yep.
me so hyped. And we've said this time and time again. Bryce Dallas Howard needs to be given the keys to a
Yep.
full-length feature film in Star Wars. That's what needs to happen.
100%. And don't get me wrong, guys. I think all 4 of these episodes are very well directed, and it proves why Rick Famuyiwa was upgraded to an executive producer for The Mandalorian. It proves Bryce Dallas Howard's prowess. It proves why Deborah Chow was handed the keys to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, everything looks so well directed, minus what we've already talked about. Like, it just, the direction in these episodes is superb. And it, like, they were planning this for 3 years, basically, because they knew Disney Plus was coming. They had 3 years to work on this. It looks fantastic. Well, it looks fantastic directionally wise. I will say, this is probably the first time that I have rewatched since season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Same.
I don't think this season's special effects has aged very well. And I had a whole conversation with Matt about this. It doesn't look bad. It just
I was gonna say,
looks-
explain a little bit more to me. Sorry.
I just think it doesn't look like it came from 2019. Especially after going through my MCU watch, it feels like this was 2013, where CGI was like starting to become superb kind of thing. It doesn't look like they had 3, and I say 3 years. It doesn't look like they had a year to work on this. It looks like they had 2 weeks.
So I somewhat agree with you, but I will say this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I am pretty sure that there was, in fact, people clamoring online saying, "Oh, I love how old school this looks and feels because it reminds me of the original trilogy."
And I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying, I know this is shot on the volume. It does not
Yes.
look like this is shot on a set. And I'm not saying the volume isn't a set, but you know what I mean, like a flat set,
We have
a location.
talked in ad nauseum about our
Yes.
like despise of the volume ever since season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Yes. My biggest critique, and I think it shows up a lot with the Mudhorn scene, at the end of episode 2.
2. Mm-hmm.
The Mudhorn scene just looks old. It does.
Yeah, it looks a little rough.
It doesn't look like it was shot physically with like physical effects. It looks like, hey, we're splashing mud around on the screen with CGI, and it looks like we're splish splashing around here. And that's what made me really look at the whole 4 episodes and go, this just does, like, it's not like the Terminator, for instance, or it's not like A New Hope where you go, okay, I know this was shot with physical effects,
Yeah.
but it still looks good. It's aged well. This has not aged well. You can.
I will say, episode 2, you are correct, because even I, at that one part, it felt a little off, especially like the fact that that is the moment where we make the realization that
Hmm.
at this time still baby Yoda, because he did not have a name at this time, um was force sensitive.
Yeah.
When you see the Mudhorn float, it's like, oh, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good at
Yeah.
all.
And I'm not saying that like it's bad CGI. I'm just saying it looks old. Like it
Hmm.
looks 10 years old or it looks 15
Compared,
years old
yeah, compared
versus
to what
6.
it was. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's I think my main issue with the effects in these first 4 episodes is after that second episode I looked at 3 and 4 with a harsher eye on the effects and I was like, ew. I don't like how this looks now. I
Hmm.
think it looked good at the time, but now it's just like, ew. And it still looks fine. Again, it's not like awful CGI. Like I've been to movies and gone, "Oh, that's awful." Like
Yeah.
I don't know who approved that. This still looks fine. It just doesn't look like a 2019 well done TV show with special effects.
Yeah. I get that. Uh,
I hope that makes sense. I'm not like I had trouble explaining that to Matt too, and Matt
well,
was
like
like,
even one of the parts that I kind of saw that CGI, and I was like, is in the first episode
mm-hmm,
when you have all of the carbonite bounties leaving the ship. That
"Yep,
was rough CGI.
yeah,
Yeah. So there was just stuff in there that wasn't like, there was stuff that looked amazing, because then there's like the walrus monster thing that comes out of the ice.
yeah."
Um like that
That
I
looks
thought looked,
superb.
yeah, I thought that looked good. I really did. But like, even when you look at the droid, when you first start to learn that the Mandalorian doesn't really like droids, when he tells
Hmm.
the guy like, "Hey, no droids," and that yellow speeder starts to zoom off, it looked a little off. It looked a little weird. So there's just
Yeah,
little random spots throughout these episodes where you're just like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like,
yeah,
they felt in pockets rushed
yeah,
when they didn't need to be rushed, you know? And I think that
yeah,
is again a very big hindrance that Disney Plus put, or Disney itself put, on all of its shows. Um
yeah. Because I said 3 years to do this, guys. Favreau signed on in March 2018 to create this new show. Pascal, Pedro Pascal, was cast a month after filming started in October 2018. Which fine.
mhm,
He doesn't have to be there because he's mostly a voice. He was only in the last 2 episodes really on set.
mhm,
So that's fine. But like that just tells you guys, okay, so they started filming in September. So they really had ish a year to work on this.
mhm.
So I apologize for that. But I'm like, dude, you knew this was coming? Because this show was announced November 2017 that there was going to be a show to launch Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Um, so anyways, um Ludwig Göransson, our musical score extraordinaire guy, composer, fantabulous. We
I
have
was
raved
literally
about him.
one of the key moments that I love about this show, and I think it still happens throughout the entire season, as well as in season 2 and season 3. There are moments in the like height of like action sequences where you hear the Mandalorian theme,
Yep.
and it just feels so good. Like, there's a scene uh in episode 4 when the ATST finally falls into one of the crops,
Yep.
and the Mandalorian stands up, grabs his thermal detonator, and the theme immediately starts to play as he's throwing it into the eye socket.
Yup.
Glorious, glorious. No notes. It was amazing. It got me hyped up. I really did
Fan-
enjoy that.
Fantastic score. I know we've raved about him in the past, but we have to bring it up because this is really probably like I think this is his first like big project. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um so he did I'm sorry, he did Black Panther. I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely probably his first big project. Creed 2, Tenet. Oh, Mandalorian is not even close on here. Because I was looking at the film section. Yeah. So Black Panther was his first big project in 2018, and then Mandalorian, and then Tenet. He is the composer for The Mandalorian and Grogu. I wasn't sure if
Yes.
he was, but he
Mm-hmm.
is. So, that excites me. Because I know Book of Boba Fett and I think season 3 of The Mandalorian, correct me if I'm wrong, he did not do. Or he did Book of Boba Fett. He did not do season 3 of The Mandalorian.
No, he did not.
So yeah, I'm super excited to have him back as the composer for the movie because the score is just fantastic. So now I think we can talk about the characters because I think we've talked about all of the notes for the different episodes. Oh, the last thing with episode 1, I will say, I think of my recent memory, I think episode 1 of The Mandalorian is Dave Filoni's best directed project in live action.
I love that the very first text that I got when we started rewatching this was like you texting me saying, I totally forgot Filoni directed the very first episode of this.
It's because it looks so much better than everything else.
Yes. The crazy thing about that is the fact that it is like almost always the thing that people think of when you think of the Mandalorian. It is his debut, his first episode. Which also the line, I can bring you in hot or I can bring you in cold, still gave me chills. It was so good. But yeah, like I loved that first episode. It did really, really well. Unfortunately, for Dave Filoni, he did not bring that same energy to everything else he's directed.
Yep.
Like I don't know. I don't know if it's like a like. It's like almost like trying to put lightning in a bottle. Like he knew, oh, this was our baby. I have to do the exact same thing every single time I direct, and he just hasn't been able to do it.
No, absolutely not. And obviously, guys, as we go back through these, we feel free to change our opinions, but I feel fairly confident that this is going to be the best episode that he directs.
Yeah, and like honestly, like our opinion is either going to stay the same and be even harsher with the movie, or he will surprise us. So we'll see how that is in May.
Favreau is directing Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Filoni is executive producing, but Favreau is the one directing.
That's true. Yeah.
All right. So how I feel like, again, all of these episodes just hit so well. The Mandalorian's introduction in episode 1, following up with the discovery at the end of the episode. I remember watching that live at 3 a.m. in the morning and going, oh shit. And you still get those same feels.
I like, because I'm watching this with Amber Lynn, and I'm watching this, and also like I'm watching the entire MCU and this with Amber Lynn, and Abby's just like, I can't believe you're letting her watch this. I was like, as long as she knows it's not real, I think it's fine. And like we see the assassin droid just start to freaking shoot everybody. And Abby's like, should we be watching this? I was like, it's a robot. It's not real. Uh like that's just my logic for a lot of these things. Hey, it's magic. It's not real. Oh, see that scary monster that's running after the screen right now? It's not real. You're fine. Um it's
Does a toddler understand the concept of real or not real?
um that's a good question actually, because she's been having a lot of night terrors. So, uh-oh. Abby's been blaming it on the melatonin, and I just agree with her. I'm like, yeah, that's got to be it. It's the melatonin for sure.
I do have some weird dreams on melatonin.
Exactly. See, it's the melatonin. It's not the scary parts of the MCU. I swear. No, but like we were watching this first episode, and I was like, look, Amberlynn, look, and you see Grogu for the very first time, and she just goes, it's a baby. I was like, yeah, it is. And I was like, he's 50 years old. And she goes, no, he's not. He's a baby. It's just so good. Because again, like the one thing that kind of sets your mind up for failure in this lead up is, of course, when Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, is learning about his mission. Oh, we can't tell you anything about the subject. We can only tell you his last location and his age. That's it. And
so
you hear
he's
50.
not expecting a tiny alien in a bassinet, basically.
Yeah.
When you hear 50, you're like, oh, okay, I'm facing somebody of massive proportion. Not massive proportions, but like I'm facing an adult.
Yeah,
And
of course.
he didn't put it together. Everybody in this first episode, because you talked about the client, which is whatever his name is, Walter Gogson something. The client, I just love him. The actor, fantastic. Dr.
Let me
Pershing.
see the baby.
I want to see the baby. I remember sending that GIF to all of my friends who were having babies, like my sister. I'm like,
it became such a meme back in the day. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And again, like when you're getting into all of that, you know, you start to then go into the lore of the Mandalorian, the Beskar, and all of these other things that are introduced to a lot of people who probably don't know a lot of that stuff.
Yep.
Which I think is really, really good storytelling if you're looking to tell these things in a broader sense, like they were with The Mandalorian having 3 seasons, with the Beskar being a huge part of the plot device throughout all 3 seasons.
Yep.
You know? So I thought that was really cool.
Because, the Beskar, especially the helmet aspect, because the helmet aspect adds, not taking off the helmet, adds a level of detail that nobody really expected to come out. It adds a level of intrigue for those who haven't watched the Clone Wars or Rebels and goes, oh, why does he not take off his helmet? And then everybody else who's watched Clone Wars or Rebels goes, that's not a thing. Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing? And then you just build this intrigue level that's like, dude, why is this a thing? And all of this Googling and everything. So it plays exactly up into where it needs to go. I know you're not a Taika Waititi fan. I love his IG-11 performance.
I surprisingly love it in season 1. Even when we get to like the last episodes of the season, I know I'm going to enjoy it because I did enjoy it. Now, there's some other things that there's a lot of eye rolly things in the last episode. But in the last episode of season 1, there is something that actually was teased in episode 1. when we actually get to see, well, actually, is it season one or is it episode one or episode two, where I think it's actually episode two, when the Mandalorian is tending to a wound, and we see again Baby Yoda doesn't have a name yet. Um,
He tries to
start
come
to
over.
starts to walk up, and I remember so many people online freaking out. He was trying to heal him. He was trying to
Mhm.
heal him. Oh my god, it's the first time in Star Wars canon that we're gonna see force healing. Blah, 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 blah. Like, and people freaked out. I
Mhm.
thought, in retrospect now, seeing this, I was like, yes, clearly this is a tease to what's to come in the final episode. I think this is very well done. I really like
Yeah.
it, especially with the brand new relationship of this alien species with the Mandalorian now having to babysit. I thought it was a really funny scene. Like, oh, get back in here, get back in here. And then he finally, like, the shot, I really loved. Who was it who did episode two again? It was
Rick Famuyiwa.
Fema does like this weird, like, hazy vision in Grogu's perspective. I don't know if you noticed
Yeah.
it, but like when he puts Grogu into the bassinet and you just see from Grogu's perspective, it's a little hazy on the sides, and then Din Djarin like presses a button on his command strip and it like shuts. And you immediately think like, "Oh, this is in the perspective of Grogu." That's really
Yeah.
cool. Like, I just love the small little touches like that. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. Famuyiwa does an incredible job at really looking at all aspects of this and being able to tell that story fantastically, um, where it makes sense to everybody going on. How did you feel about the Jawas in episode two?
I thought it was a fun addition because it does draw back to, of course, the original trilogy, and of course, the part where Luke was like, "Oh, hey, this droid is all messed up. You gave us a bad droid, blah, blah, blah." Even though you should actually go read from a certain point of view,
You should.
A
You
New Hope,
should.
a certain point of view, there is some deeper aspects in that whole scene there. Um, but it like plays a part in that. In like, hey, these are scavengers. They're gonna try to make the best deal they can. All these different things. But I also love that Mando knew knew how to speak Jawa.
Mhm.
And like he actually got agitated, like almost like hit him with a flamethrower. Was so fun. But
Yes.
there's also the one character um that excuse me. Um I keep forgetting his name. Uh uh
Queel.
uh is it
Queel.
Queel?
Yeah. K
Yes,
U
Queel
I I
also.
L.
He is voiced by um 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 oh my
Nick
gosh.
Nolte.
Yes, Nick Nolte. He's an insane individual, by the way. You look where he's at today. He has seen better days. Trust me. Um, but like seeing him in here, that then became the other meme of this first season. I have spoken. I have spoken. I have spoken. There's actually quite a few memes that came out of this whole
Yeah.
Mandalorian season one. Show me the baby. I have spoken, and this is the way. Like those are the
Mhm.
three I think big memes that came out of Mando season one. Um, but yeah, I really like. Not only did I like the Jawas in their like part of this episode, I really like the chase scene. Um,
Yeah.
it
Like the
became a
chase
little
scene,
ridiculous when
good.
like you see Grogu like actually keeping up with them. I thought was a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um, but to kind of show the like persistence of Mando, you had to have this scene.
Yeah.
Um, it kind of shows like, hey, he's not gonna take shit from nobody. He needs the stuff that he needs, and he's not gonna let anybody push him around. Um, so I really did like that entire scene.
Yeah. And I did as well. Like it's probably one of that one definitely feels like it was shot practically, and it looks well done. It looks good because of it. So, um, that one was not a scene that bugged me at all in the slightest. Um, and I enjoyed having it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it like you said, it also flashes you back to Tatooine without putting you on Tatooine. And I know we go to Tatooine later on in the season, guys. I know we do. But still, like for setting you up as like in this brand new story of Star Wars, it gives you it gives you those fanboy moments without going, fanboy, come and find me. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Which I really do appreciate. Like, not everything needs to be thrown into, which is why there were so many people that like really embraced the Mandoverse because it
Hmm.
really did feel like a new thing while still like giving those fanboys what they want while also giving new fans something to draw. You know, they're like,
Yep.
"Hey, like here's something new. You're we're not going to stay with the same four characters, you know, that we
Yep.
have throughout all of Star Wars. Here's a new character of the Mandalorian." And of course, like the big draw from that is the fact that Boba Fett is one of the most popular characters of Star Wars. And they're like, hey, how do we
Hmm.
do that without necessarily touching Boba Fett right now? Um, which like I'm very curious to like see like I don't know if they've had conversations about this yet or not, or if anything has been revealed. But like at one point, did were they like, hey, this is what we're gonna do with Boba Fett? Was it after season one? Was it before season one? Like I would be really interested to know if there was ever conversations about Boba Fett before or after season one of Mandalorian.
Yeah. Um, considering season two wasn't greenlit until, well, no, I think season two was actually greenlit before the show came out. Yeah. Season two was actually greenlit in July of 2019.
Okay.
Um, so I would imagine they said, we'd love to get Boba Fett in here. We want to get everybody else in here. Like
Yeah, that's true.
Bo Katan, all those appearances, I feel like you had to start early on that to go, hey, we want to do this.
Yeah,
So,
very very true. Uh, my question to you: we've talked a lot about episode 4. We've talked a lot about episode 2. Episode 3. Episode 3
the
is kind of
betrayal of the client.
yes. Chapter 3 known as the sin. Um we see a like usually with the introduction of a character, we've only seen Din Djarin, aka the Mandalorian, for 2 whole episodes, a total of like 80 minutes if that, really, when you look
Yeah.
at all of his individual scenes. We still don't know much about the Mandalorian, but we do see a sense of compassion. We see it in
Yep.
episode 1, we see it in episode 2. So we know that by the time the decision is made in episode 3, it's not a change in character for us, the audience, but it is very much a change in character for the universe and who Din Djarin is because he is so set and known as this bounty hunter, as
Yep.
this mercenary type of character, right?
Hmm.
So, my question to you is, do you remember it all when you first watched this? Like, was there an actual surprise that you felt when you saw how the guild reacted and fought back at the end of the episode?
I don't think I had any surprise at all when that came up.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have been like, "Oh shit, is about to go down,"
Mm-hmm.
but like you knew the reward that the client was offering, and everybody else is probably because they're the guild and because like they know the reputation of the Mandalorian because it's all he's known by at this point. We don't even learn his name until episode 8.
Mm-hmm.
Um and so you look at this and all those trackers start flashing. And Karga immediately knows. Karga's like, I got to take out my best dude. And all of these other bounty hunters are like, ooh, I get a chance to take out the competition. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to do it. Like, that's basically how it boils down is like you're pissed off at this guy who already comes in and takes all the gigs and comes back with them so he's successful and now he's had a change of heart and is willing to go back on his word, which Mandalorians don't do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a chance to put him in his place. That's basically how I thought it was gonna go down. And
I had completely forgot that Carl Weathers, his character, like did fight against him. Like I had totally forgot about that until, of course, the second rewatch of it. I was like, "Oh shit." Like he didn't
yep,
I totally forgot that Din Djarin actually shoots him. Like at the
yeah,
end of the episode,
I did too.
he shoots him out of the freaking oh shoot, what's his the
Razor
oh shoot,
Crest.
Razor Crest. I was gonna say Star Crest for some reason. The Razor Crest. So like he shoots him out of there, but that's after we also see a battalion of Mandalorians come to the Mando's rescue.
Yep.
And this is after all of them kind of gave him some flack, at their little home or whatever underground. Um, which we get
The covert.
yeah, we get our first guest appearance of Jon Favreau without knowing that it's Jon Favreau, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was cool. Like I really thought like at when I first watched the episode, seeing all of those Mandalorians fly down with all
Yep.
of their guns blasting at all these bounty hunters. And then even at the end of the episode, when he's flying off in the Crest, and he sees the other Mandos kind of flying off, he's like, I got to get me one of those, and it
yeah.
is a tease to what we will eventually see in the next seasons. So
Yep.
very very cool
And
stuff.
I love at the end of episode 3 where the child has been playing with this little ball off of one of the contraptions and he reaches up for the ball at the end of the episode and the Mandalorian just hands it to him.
Just
He
hands it
just
to him.
says, "Here you go, buddy."
Well, that also leads us to the beginning of episode 4, which is probably one
Mhm.
of my favorite parts of just like the introduction to these characters is you just see Grogu like touch something and Mando fixes it. He's like, "Don't touch it." And then he's like you see Grogu looking at the Mandalorian and his arm just goes click and he stop touching things. And then finally, the last one, he touches something and the entire ship starts to like shake. He's like, "Stop!" and he like moves them. Absolutely love that. Again, it reminds us that yeah, this thing, this baby Yoda, is 50 years old, but in their race, he is still a child. He is still a baby. He doesn't know
Yep.
any better. Um, so I love that he can comprehend things, but still doesn't understand because it's just so cute
Yeah.
and so funny.
Is
Um,
perfect toddlerisms.
yes, no,
Um,
like for real. Like when he even says, "Hey, we're gonna go to this place. We're probably gonna settle down here for a couple months. We just gotta, do it in order to survive." And he's like, "Stay here. I'm gonna go map some things out, and I will come back. Stay here." As soon as that ramp goes down on the Razor Crest, Grogu's literally right at his feet. He's like, okay,
oh,
whatever."
this episode is the other meme in the season
Oh, the
where
sipping of
Grogu
the
is sipping
tea,
the bone
the
broth.
the the broth. Yeah, that is the other meme. Yeah, that's right.
Because he just sees them fighting and he's like, really? Are we doing this?
Yeah, I
Okay,
forgot. I forgot
whatever.
about that meme. One of my favorite writers actually used that meme, and she went like viral for the day. Um, Yeah, I forgot about that meme. So good. But unfortunately, this is, of course, the introduction to Gina Carano's episode. Um,
Yeah, and at the time, I don't think I minded her character in this because I do appreciate that they went strong woman versus stick thin woman. We don't
yes.
see enough thick, muscular women
Mm-hmm.
in movies and television, and I'm afraid we saw the last of them with the actions that she took, um,
It it
and
it
not being
it's
able to spare
very
conflict.
disappointing. It's very disappointing because when I like the things that I knew Gina Carano for, she did like two action movies on her own that she was the main character. Very like D movies, by the way. Did not
Hmm.
make a lot of money in the box office. I think one of them actually had a like immediately to DVD sequel type of thing. And she did a Fast and the Furious movie and she also dated Henry Cavill. Like those were the things that I knew her from. So I was like, "Oh, Gina Carano. Cool."
Deadpool
And
too.
then
That's the other one.
oh yes, and Deadpool. And when I saw her here, I was like, okay, what are they gonna do with this character?
Hmm.
Is this a one type thing? Of course, we know that there was eventually talks of moving her into possibly a bigger role in a separate TV show. All of that went nowhere.
Yeah.
Um, on my rewatch, as I said at the beginning of this review, I noticed how stale her lines were
Hmm.
in this episode. And I think I was really awed by Bryce Dallas Howard's work in this episode that I didn't really pay attention to Gina Carano all that much. Now, knowing this was a review episode for us, I was like, okay, I need to really focus on kind of everything. Gina
Hmm.
Carano, I probably won't pay attention to her. But when I really listened to her lines, I was like, she is
Yeah.
flat. There's nothing there when I hear her say these words. So like it just felt kind of awkward to be completely honest.
Yeah. And that's where I ended up with this as well, is just you're not somebody who's catching my attention, basically, in this. I'm really just like you're a character and you're there at the end of the day.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, um otherwise, like I love episode 4. I love Omera, the mother who can shoot, like fantastic character. And we almost got a helmet reveal and then he goes, "Nah."
Well, I do like there is the scene where he is eating, but they
Yeah.
move the camera. There's that one
Yes.
scene.
I definitely laughed this time around, and I think I laughed the first time because I'm like, dude, you're eating at a window in front of these children who are playing and are facing
People
the
could still,
camera.
yeah, I was gonna say people could
You can
still look
still
at
be
you
seen.
and still be seen. Which I thought of that as well. But like there was, of course, with this being 6 years ago, almost seven now.
Mhm.
Um, when I was watching this, I was like, is there a legitimate chance for this Mandalorian to actually consider what this woman is saying? Starting a life, walking away from this whole lifestyle of being a Mandalorian and such. And like, I remember back in the day, I was like, I mean, sure, anything is possible. I don't even know this guy. Maybe we've seen him go against the guild. Why can't he go against his own people? I think that was my thought process. But then,
Yeah.
of course, we see that these bounty hunters can still find Grogu wherever they are, which I need somebody to explain it like I'm five. What is it that they're tracking?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Is it the
Because
bassinet? Because
that
you could just literally throw that thing away.
I don't think it's the bassinet because he's not using the bassinet in episode 4 because the
Yeah.
bassinet was thrown away in episode 3 because remember the client was like, get the material you need to
Oh,
kill him.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I I don't think it's like a tag, like he's been injected with a tracker because we see that Mando's using those trackers for other beings. I genuinely think it's the chain code, basically, because we know the chain code is basically like the DNA sequence at the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably what it's tracking. I don't think you can track it unless you're on the same planet. So they
Ah.
beep, but they don't direct you unless you're on the same planet. So Mando was there for a couple of months with Grogu. And then he's like, okay, we're safe. I'm good to move on. Nobody knows where I am. Somebody probably spent that time hopping around planets in the direction that he took off from the main planet
Mm-hmm.
and was exploring planets and basically landing on a planet and going, okay, is it directing me where I can go? No, okay, cross this one off the list.
Yeah.
Because we've seen that done in books where people are like, oh, you can't track through hyperspace. Oh, but I know that if you went off at these coordinates and you jumped into hyperspace here, there's only so many planets you could go to.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that's probably what happened. Is it's tracking DNA sequence, and that's why the client dude is like, um, I can give you his last known location. And
Yeah.
so Mando goes there and is like, okay, I'm going to start here. And then he realizes, okay, he's still here. That's my theory.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense because like whenever I see these things, I'm like, this thing is not like huge, like
Yeah.
crazy technology. It is literally a box with a light that flickers. Like,
Yeah.
what is going on here? But that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. But yeah, like I really we can gush over this entire episode. I think that although this is volume technology, the little bit of set that it was with like the farm, the like the shrimp esque animal stuff that they are finding in their crops and stuff,
The
like
krill.
the krill, like all of it, like really made it feel alive, and I thought that was really really cool. So it was a lot of fun. Um, I am looking forward. Like I said, even though Taika Waititi is going to be in the last episodes, and I believe the last uh, or second to last director. Didn't he also direct?
So he's the last director. So it
Okay,
basically
yeah.
goes the same way. So 5 is directed by Filoni, 6 is directed by Famuyiwa, Deborah Chow directs episode 7, and then Watiti directs episode 8.
Yeah.
So 5 directors, 3 got 2 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, man, could you imagine if Bryce Dallas Howard had that last episode?
Mm-hmm.
What we could have gotten. What we could have gotten. But yeah, I'm looking forward, even with Taika Waititi doing the last episode. I like this entire first season. It really did like set up an expectation, which, you know, took a little bit of a hit in season 2 and really kind of fell on its face for season 3. But, you know, we will eventually get there. But any last thoughts for you, Katie, on this first 4 episodes of season 1?
No, I think we covered everything. Again, guys, this wasn't meant to be a super in-depth review. It was just kind of meant to be a refresher, a little more in depth than what we're gonna go with 2, 3, and Book of Boba Fett. So, yeah, I think that about covers it.
Cool. Well, guys, you can always find me at Fanboy Clay on any and all social media. Nowadays, more so on Instagram than anything. So go check me out there. I am finally finding some time to create some content for our Star Wars Alliance Instagram, which, by the way, let me bring that up right now. On Blue Sky and Instagram at Star Wars Alliance. That's StarWarsAlliance. There is no A in Wars. It's very important. Don't forget it. But yeah, we're finally starting to do some pre-content. Like I'm actually planning it out, and I'm going to be scheduling it. So that's going to be something to look forward to in the year of 2026.
Yes.
Katie, what about you?
Y'all, you can take that same username and shoot us an email. StarWarsAlliance@gmail.com. Remember, there's no A in the wars. Very important. Don't forget it. I see we have some people watching live. Guys, Low Red Moon, Star Wars Low Red Moon is coming out February 3rd, 2026. If you guys follow us on social media and send us a message, I will. This is to the release date of Star Wars Outlaws Low Red Moon. If you guys send us a message on Instagram, because Threads does not have messages yet, but if you send us a message on Instagram and you are following up until the release of Low Red Moon, at least, so that way I know, I will put you guys in a draw, and I will send one of you guys the hardcover book when it comes out. So that's a little giveaway for you guys. So we can get some people following us. But we'll be giving that away as kind of a celebration of the new year. And so you can follow me, guys, on most social media platforms. It's at Slice of Katie. Again, I'm there. I'm mostly there. I'm mostly on Instagram and Threads. So yeah. But if you guys send me a message, I promise I will get back to you at some point or another. So with that, guys, I want to wish everyone a great day or night, whatever time of day you are listening or watching, and we will see y'all next time. May the Force be with you.